Welcome back to the channel, everybody, and hit that subscribe and like button to help us grow. We have got to the 100 subscriber market. Let's see if we can make it that 1,000. Today what we're doing is, here's a trailer that I dropped about 12 days ago. They went ahead and loaded it up. From there would fit in there, and what they didn't went to a dumpster. Anyways, we're here to pick up this trailer, relocate it to a storage yard. One of the things you have to pay attention to is, he said that telephone pole there, how it's leaning out there. If you're not careful, you could actually hit it with the tractor or the trailer. We had to be real careful getting it in there. You can see that I got it real close to the curb. It's actually touching the mailbox, but it's not putting any real pressure on the mailbox. And the reason I did that is because this road is really narrow, so I tried to give as much room as I possibly could. And I did put 2 glad hand locks and a kingpin lock on it to make sure that it didn't go anywhere. And I made sure the tenons were slid all the way back. That way I didn't know what they were going to be loading in it, and I still really don't know what's in it. But if they put anything heavy in the nose, I didn't want to do a nosedive, so when I dropped it, I went ahead and slid Tim's all the way back. I will be sliding them forward. And they put their own padlock on it. So we're going to go ahead, take the kingpin lock off. You can see how close I got. And I mean, that power line, that's not a power line, that's a communication line. It's actually laying on top of the trailer. From what I understand, that don't hurt it at all. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to release the pin on the tandem, so when I do hook up, I can slide it back. They'll go ahead and go in. The pins aren't released yet, but it's spring loaded. First thing I got to do is take the kingpin lock off. You can see that flag hanging down there. That's the heavy duty kingpin lock, which will be going back on there when we get to where it's going. And same thing with the glad hand locks. We're going to utilize the way the fifth wheel is made. You see that how that V is. Well, what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to come in perfect with the center of the fifth wheel to line up. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to come over a little bit, so when I do hit that kingpin, it actually shifts the trailer this way because of that telephone pole. And that way also I don't have to worry about hitting the pole with the stack or anything else, because if I get up against the curb because of the telephone pole, there's a chance I could hit the pole. So I don't want to do that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead. I got my keys in my hand, but I can't take all the stuff off and hold the camera at the same time. So I'm going to go ahead and shut the camera off, go ahead and get all this stuff off, get hooked up. All right, I have not made it onto the lot yet. I've done a few things. I'm going to show you why here in a few minutes. I slid the tandems as far forward as they'll go. And then I went ahead and I dropped the landing gear, and I already raised it back up. And then I went ahead and slid the fifth wheel a good bit forward to shorten everything up, trying to shorten the wheelbase up as much as I can. Here's why I did that. I have to come in that way, so I gotta miss that telephone pole, that pipe sticking in the ground, come down this narrow road, and then I gotta make this left into this driveway, and there's a culvert right there. I gotta be careful. I'm gonna have to stay over this way as far as I can without going too far off the pavement, because you can see how it drops off. And then I'm gonna have to go in the grass, trying to keep the trailer away from that telephone pole and keep from crushing the culvert. Go in the grass, hopefully it's solid enough to get to the gate. Now, I don't know if you can see in the camera the other entrance. It's too steep. I'm worried about the landing gear getting stuck. Once I get in there, I'll show you a better look. Unfortunately, inside, the only way to get out is the weight of a vehicle pulling up to the gate, because I walked in there and I got trapped. I had to have somebody come and punch a code in from the outside because there's no keypad inside. All right, I got everything slid forward. Keep our fingers crossed, see how this turns out. Yeah, once you get in here, if you don't have a vehicle, you kind of get trapped in here. See that white line there? It's where you put the vehicle to give you weight to be able to get out, because there's no keypad in here. And look how steep that is. Look at the vehicles going by up there. and I would not want to bring a trailer down in there. Landing gear would probably get stuck. So I did come in that way, and I used a little trick that somebody else showed me, how to keep the gate open so I can get back out, because I don't know if there's a pressure pad out there at that end, so the gate stays open until I get out.